Hi, Soul Family. It's Shay. Thank you for tuning into my station or my channel. What a great journey this has been. I'm so excited to be here. No matter what happens, I'm just excited to be here and create and share beautiful ideas and discussions with you. So, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I am called Temple of Sound, and the reason why is because I do sound healing. And also, we are a temple of sound. That's what we are. We are sound beings. We'll talk about that more. But I am a life coach and spiritual coach, connecting you back to your soul and maybe yourself, and just finding some comfort in yourself again. So, in this crazy world, we sometimes forget how beautiful, wonderful we really are, and how much energy that we have, and how magical we really truly are. So sometimes we just kind of lose that. We remember when we were kids, everything was magical, everything was just wonderful. And the more we grew up, it's just like, life happened and we just forgot all of our magic and who we really were. So, but today I just want to talk to you about something that I think is very important to really realize. And it's the concept of what we think about expands. So we've probably, touched on, somebody's probably touched on this before, but what it really means is that when we give all of our energy and attention to something, even when we don't want that something to happen, or we don't, it's not a good thing, whatever we think about will expand. It will start to show up in our life more. It will start to, more of it will start to flow in. And the reason why is because the universe, whatever you would say, your creator, God, whatever you believe in, um, isn't really thinking if things are good or bad. It doesn't. If you can think of the universe as more like an energy that flows around us, it's all things are one, and it's just energy. And it says, okay, you put so much thought and effort into this thing. I think you want. Let's give you more of it. Let's give you more of what you're thinking and wanting, because you've been focusing so much on it. And some of us might be like, oh, I don't want that. I really don't. I really, and see, the more you say, when people say, what do you want out of life? And then you start naming off everything you don't want. I don't want to have a lazy partner. I don't want to live somewhere cold. I don't want to like work my whole life. I don't want to. Do you see what I'm saying? You just keep going, I don't want instead of saying what you do want. What was the question? The question was, what do you want in your life? Instead of saying, oh, I want to live somewhere beautiful and warm. I want a loving partner that's healthy and wealthy and joyful and kind. I want to work whenever I want to work, wherever I want to work. I don't want to work that hard. I just want to cruise on through life. I want everything to be beautiful and wonderful. That is a stating what you want, and you're putting energy into that. But when we talk about like, oh, I don't want to live in, this thing and that thing and have this and that, I don't, it doesn't matter, because you're putting so much energy into it. It's the focus of what's going on in your life. It's what you're narrowing down into. So we need to be very careful about the things and ideas that we're taking in, like media, news media, what people are saying. I was listening to this one book, and it was such a great book, but then the guy started talking about like why we're all trying to leave, because this government, and they failed us there, and this, and all of a sudden my nervous system started like, oh. I started feeling this nervousness, because I know that I don't want that in my life. And as soon as people start complaining or start saying everything like what's wrong in the world, all you're doing is making it worse. You're not helping anything. You're making it worse by focusing all of your energy onto it. I have to be informed. I got to know what the news says. I don't want to like not know. I mean, be informed, but don't be at your life. Don't make it everything that you do. Every morning you wake up and the first thing you do is you turn on the CNN or Fox News or something like that. It's like it just keeps happening. Whatever you focus on expands. Even if you're subconsciously thinking, you're not even thinking about it. It's like in the background. I'm not actually listening to it. It's still there. It's coming through. And I remember this when I was watching. I used to love watching Unsolved Mysteries. I loved it. I don't know why. And I remember one time falling asleep to an unsolved mystery, and in my dream I was kind of asleep and awake, and I remember hearing she was raped and murdered and this, and they never found, and I immediately woke up and I just turned it off because I was like, I don't want that in my life. I I will not keep my focus on all that garbage. Mm-mm. So now I don't even watch news. Honestly, I feel bad for saying that, and maybe some people are cheering me on and some people are like, Shay, you're not informed. But I can't. I just don't want it in my life. And so I don't want to focus on that. And so therefore I am like living the best life. Money is flowing into my life. I have so much wonderful things happening, and everybody's talking about recession and there's this, everything's so expensive and all these bad things, and I don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't. And it's because I don't focus on it. You know, I always tell my friends, like, I want to be that little deer that's frolicking through the meadow and then they just get shot and die. And they didn't know that it was coming. I want to be that deer. I just want to live a happy little life. We all know how this story ends. I mean, we all know how the book ends, right? Nobody's making it out alive. We're all on a road to nowhere. We are. We're on a road to nowhere. But there's peace in the knowing that you don't have to make it so complicated. You don't have to live your life in fear. And you don't have to live your life constantly being told how to think. And all this fear-based. You can have a beautiful, loving life. And let me tell you, when you focus on all those great things, when you start talking about how great things are, I mean, like, talk it, say it. How, maybe you don't have anything nice to say about the government, then don't talk about the government. See all the nice things that's happening. Maybe you don't have anything nice to say about the housing crisis or rents going up or people losing their jobs or how expensive groceries are. Maybe you don't have, maybe you could just talk about how great your lunch was. You know, maybe you could talk about how great of a drive you had today at work, or that you heard a new song and you really loved it. And people might look at you like you're crazy, but you're not feeding into something you don't want to see expand. You know, we are a collective consciousness. We are all creating this world together, our own individual lives and our lives together as a whole. And when we have the majority of people talking about how terrible things are, it just creates more terrible things for everybody else. So let's think about what we're talking about. Let's think about what we're focusing on. Are we focusing on what we don't want? Are we focusing on what we do want? Are we focusing on the great things that are happening in our life? Are we always going to revert back to talking about how terrible things are? Because it's easy to talk about those things. It's so much fun to complain about all these terrible things that are happening. And it's, people don't want to talk about the good things. You know? Whatever you want to find, you will find. You know? It'll start to attract to you. It's like that like attracts like. Like I've talked about it there, you know, it's probably in one of my videos, how the like attracts like. When you start being that person, when you start being the Debbie Downer, when you start being the person that always complains about the government and the prices and gas and this and that, there's just more for you to complain about. It just keeps coming in. It's never going to stop. But the minute you shift your energy to something that's greater than what's happening in this world, the minute you shift, you will see how amazing this life really is. You will start to see magic everywhere. You will get to see the bees taking all the honey and all the trees. And I mean, I'm just talking, but you'll see the warmth of the sun, the fresh air. Start focusing on the things you do want to expand in your life. What do you want to expand in your life? Do you want to expand more money? Then talk about money, but talk about money in a positive way. Talk about money as if money was your best friend, and how much you love money, and how much wonderful things money have done for you. Stop saying that the root of all evil is money and all the greedy, selfish people are rich. Then you will never be rich. I mean, I'll just tell you right now, you will never be rich, and you'll never attain the wealth that you want, because you don't like rich people, and you don't like money. Money, why would anything come if it wasn't appreciated? And so every time you talk a negative thing, more of those negative things will start to expand. There's no good men. There's no great girls. Everybody's taken. Guess what? That's all you're going to find. All the taken great guys and great girls, and all the ones that are left are the ones that you don't want to date. Because you called them in. You called them in. You created that, and whatever you're thinking about expands more. So be self-aware. Like when you're sitting there with your friends and everybody's just getting on the complain bandwagon, and you're about to say something, be self-aware and say to yourself, if the thing that I'm about to say, is it something that I would want to create in my life, or is it something I want to let go? Is it something that I really want to show up again and again and again? Or is it something that I really would just wish would go away? And the only way it would go away is if you stop giving it energy. The only way things will start manifesting into your life and start showing up as blessings and miracles is because you will start to call them in, and everything else will start to just disappear. Forget about how terrible of a life you had when you were a kid. Stop talking about how your parents struggled. Stop talking about how terrible your life has been. Focus on what you want to create now. Focus on the life that you want to happen now. To start talking about, oh yeah, then somebody's talking about jobs and there's not enough jobs and everybody's gonna just start talking, oh well, I'm sure more great jobs will be created. I'm sure that everything's going to be fine, and those people are probably better off for getting fired so that they can go get better jobs and realize that they deserve better in their life. And they will. All those people will go and get a better job, and they'll live a better life, or they won't. I mean, it's just how life is. But when you talk about the things you want to happen. The government's failed us, and now we have to, what do we do? We're all screwed. By the way, if we didn't have government, we would not be having the freedoms we have right now. We would not have the opportunities we have now. So yes, they served their purpose, and they still serve a great purpose. We would have anarchy in the streets. So find the good in what we're trying. Maybe you don't like who's coming up next. Pay no attention to it. Wish them the best. Wish them the best. Say, hey, you know what? You have to lose that control, but whatever you think about expands. So, what do you want to expand in that area? Do you want to expand better government? I'm sure this next president or this next candidate will be better. I'm sure he'll do a great, or she'll do a great job. I'm sure that everything is going to be fine. We'll always make it on top. There's more than enough to go around. Everything will be okay. I'm not faking it till I make it. I'm actually being that. I'm actually being that person. And you have to be that person. You have to be that person that sees all the love and wonderful things that are happening in this world. Because what you focus on expands. So, what do you want in your life? What do you want to create in your life? Don't tell me what you don't want. Write down in the comments, write down, what do you want to expand in your life? And then, if you're really feeling it, tell me why. Tell me why you want it to expand. So, I hope you found some great value out of this. I hope that you will start being more self-aware. And maybe you'll just turn off that TV. Maybe you'll turn off that news and you don't need it and it's not gonna serve you any great. There's nothing to learn there. You wanna learn about life? Go out and see life. Go out and see it. And start seeing it with a different kind of lens. Stop seeing it as dread. See it as a beautiful becoming. Start talking about things in expansion. Start thinking about things in bigger than they are, better than they could possibly be. And always come from that kind of feeling. I know things are going to get better. And you know what? I'll create the life that I want. It won't matter what government does. It won't matter what those things do, because you'll constantly be creating the life that you do want. I can tell you, once you change that mindset, sky's the limit. All right, let's tune in. Let's do our sound healing. Let's just get a couple minutes to do this. Tune in, take a deep breath. You can watch, you can close your eyes, just be in this space. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you subscribe. I would really love for you to be part of my group, be part of all this wonderful community that I'm trying to build. And even if you weren't, thank you for being here. Thank you for just sharing the world, your beautiful presence, sharing all of your beautifulness. I thank you so much. I help you have a beautiful, wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.